Welcome back, everyone. So let's talk about Pumpkinhead 2, Blood Wings, which is a first watch for me. And I had watched the first Pumpkinhead movie for the first time a couple months ago, and I really enjoyed the first Pumpkinhead. And I want to go and watch the rest of the films in the franchise. I believe there's only 4 films thus far, and I haven't heard anything really about them, like, at all. I mean, the only thing I heard was the first one was good, and I thought it was good. I thought it was actually really fun and really enjoyable. So I decided to pop in the second one tonight, and I guess I'm going to give the plot really quick, which I don't really know if I need to, but I'll give it anyway. It's like, the plot is that Pumpkinhead is resurrected again because of this group of kids run into that witch from the first movie, and, like, she burns in her house. So, like, Pumpkinhead comes back, and then again, it does the thing that it did in the last one, where it's kind of the reincarnation of, like, this person's psyche and their anger. And I think that's a really cool thing that they did again. I like that, and I like the fact that this is a direct-to-video movie, but I felt like, even though it does look shoddy, like, it doesn't look as good, it really is a solid direct-to-video movie. Like, I feel like for the budget it has, it actually is really solid. Like, the effects on Pumpkinhead, I think, are actually really good, and I think they hold up for the most part. I don't think they're as good as the first one, but they're still good. Like, they still work pretty well and pretty solid. And he's not shown in it as much, obviously, because it's a direct-to-video sequel, but still, it does a good job of, like, being competent enough for a direct-to-video sequel, and I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that this was a totally fine sequel that's direct-to-video. But also I want to say that that it's lower budget and the acting is kind of less good, but it's not terrible. But it's just kind of like, oh, it's just kind of average acting. And I think that I do enjoy this sequel, but the only thing that I really did truly miss, and he wouldn't have come back anyways, of course, is Lance Henriksen. Like, he was really the focal point of the first one, and he really gave something that I don't want to say gave the movie more credit, but it gave more of a heart to the movie with him and his struggle in the movie and what happens. I really like that a lot, and I think Lance Henriksen is great in the first one, and it is sad that he's not in this. He is sorely missed on this one for me. Like, I really did wish that he was could have been some way in this one, but he wouldn't have been. But I did like, I wish that he was in this, and I would have maybe liked it a tad more, even though I do think this is a solid sequel. Like, it's totally fine, but there are still some weird moments in it, like, there's like this mellow twang song playing while, like, Pumpkinhead goes and kills this, like, couple in this like house in the middle of nowhere, and I guess they're trying to be a humorous, like, horror comedy thing, but I don't know, like, it didn't really work for me in this one. I was just like, oh, okay. It was kind of weird having the twangy music playing. And also, there's a couple of really bad acting moments. Even though the acting is fine for the most part throughout this, there's a really bad moment in the movie where the sheriff comes out of his car to go into this building, and these two ladies are talking to him, and one lady says, "Sheriff, they're saying it's a monster. A demon." And then the other one goes, "Have you found any clues?" And they just say it just like that, where it's stilted and it's off and it's really weird. I don't get why they were like that in that moment. So that was a really weird moment in the movie, and I was just like, huh, okay. Okay. And it's not like the movie's terrible at all. It's just there's a couple moments like that where I'm like, like, it was funny though with their lines. Like, they were bad, but they were funny. Like, it did crack me up. I also liked though with this movie that the cast is not too bad. Like, Andrew Robinson plays, like, the sheriff guy, and he is Larry from, like, Hellraiser, and he was also in stuff like The Puppet Masters, the Donald Sutherland one, and he's in like I like this actor. I think he does a good job in this movie. And I think he's totally fine for like the main like guy, but like Lance Hendrickson was way better. But he's still fine. And also, I want to mention that I didn't recognize her at first, and I'm gonna butcher her name, but Salil Moon Fry, who plays like who was in Friends as like Joey, one of Joey's girlfriends that like punches him really hard and like actually hurts him, and she played like Roxy in Sabrina the Teenage Witch. She This is done before both of those things I've seen her in, and she looks really different. And I looked up the trivia after this movie, and it said that she had to gain 20 pounds for this role, so she doesn't look like herself, and it's so weird seeing her in this movie and she doesn't look like herself. And then after this movie, she looks like she does since like Sabrina or like Friends. Like she looks just like she does now, and but she looks so different in this movie. So I didn't even recognize her at first, but I like that she's in this, even though she's just kind of forgettable as a performance. Like it's not like a lot of these people have a lot to work with, but she's just okay. But I thought that was funny seeing her in this before she was in anything else, really. And also that cameo from Kane Hodder was fun. That was funny. And again, I did like the point of Pumpkinhead using the way they used Pumpkinhead in the movie and how they affected certain characters in the plot. I liked that a lot. I liked how this did do like a similar thing to the first one. I liked how they did connect him to like a person bringing out Pumpkinhead because of somebody's anger, and I like that a lot. And the violence is fun, but it's not shown much until like the climax, which makes me think that since this is a direct-to-video movie, they didn't have much money to do a lot of violence throughout, so they waited for the end, which is totally fine. It's like a build-up, but like it's serviceable violence. Like it's fun for this type of horror movie. So overall, I think that this movie is totally alright. A totally alright sequel. I don't think it's as good as the first one. I think that it's totally a solid sequel, though. It's got a couple bad moments, but it's got some good things about it. Like I said, Pumpkinhead, the design of Pumpkinhead, the animatronics, or not, whatever they use for him, puppetry, or just a person in a suit, whatever it is. It looks totally fine. The effects with Pumpkinhead are fine. The acting is fine for the most part, besides a few bad moments. The violence is alright at the end. But it does have a couple things that are lacking in it since it's a direct-to-video movie. But it's not like it's a bad direct-to-video movie. It's just, you can tell it's direct-to-video. So it's got a couple things that are lesser than the first one, but overall it's still a solid sequel, and I did enjoy my time with it. So overall, I thought this was a really fun time. So tell me down below what you guys think of Pumpkinhead 2 Blood Wings. I enjoyed it a lot, so thank you guys so much for watching.